Welcome into the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and Metcalf Trucking and Trailer Repair. Today we are visiting with Cabot Panther head coach Scott Reed. This Pigskin Preview is sponsored by First Community Bank.
I'm here with Coach Scott Reed, here, the head football coach at Cabot. Coach, thank you for having me on your campus today and for taking the time out of your day for me. Tell me about what you guys do, as far as what you guys do to practice and prepare for your games, and just what you guys try to do with your players to help them get ready for Friday nights.
Well, it's a year-long process. It seems like it's never ending. We try to give our kids some rest time at the end of the season and then certain times throughout the year, but kind of break it down into three parts. There's the off season, which really kind of starts in January. A lot of strength training, get kids ready for spring practice and for the camp season. That's important now too, because kids want to be seen in camps and want to be recruited. So we try to get through the spring, do those things, and also then throughout the summer we have 7-on-7 and team camps, and then also conditioning workouts. We have a full-time strength staff, so that's great. They plan all our strength workouts with our kids, and then our coaches, we're working drills, throwing routes, actually do team in the summer in shorts and helmets throughout the summer. And then, when August gets here, it's more, everything is geared toward Friday night. So you spend the first couple of weeks installing your offense and defense, and then you start getting into game planning for opponents. And everything is geared around, Friday nights and then also Monday nights with JV. We have 2 JV teams here. We'll have over 160 kids on our high school roster. So a lot of kids playing football in Cabot, and a lot of opportunity for them to play as well.
So tell me about what the community and culture is like here at Cabot, and what it's like here on game days, and how the community helps your football team.
Well, there's a great tradition here in Cabot. Coach Malham, not many places can say that they've had a guy that was their head coach for 38 years. He was actually one of my high school football coaches. And the foundation when I got here was really solid. There's a Cabot's a unique place. There's a very strong work ethic. There's a real sense of community and pride in our country, which is awesome. You feel it throughout Cabot. There's very competitive. Our young people are not only athletically but also in the classroom. They excel in the classroom. It's a pleasure to be a part of this district and get to coach our kids. We have great kids here. They also expect to do well. The majority of our teams are very good, very competitive. So that part's great. Then the support, I don't know that you'll find a better Friday night atmosphere than here. We came off COVID a few years ago, and 3 of our 5 home games, we actually had to close the gate. Couldn't let any more people in. That doesn't happen many places. Our people in Cabot support. They show up, and we have a lot going on for a home Friday night football game.
So you guys probably play in one of, if not the toughest conferences in the state of Arkansas,
Mm-hmm.
and it only gets more difficult with conference realignment with Pulaski Academy and Little Rock Christian coming in.
Right.
Tell me about your schedule this year, and maybe some games you guys are looking forward to, and just what your team is looking at doing this season, just as far as playing in some big games and things like that.
So Conference is a challenge. We wouldn't have it any other way. We are proud to play in the toughest conference, or what we think is the best conference in the state. You know, the past few years, the Central and the West are both really good. Last year, a West team won it for the first time in 5 or 6 years. It kind of goes in cycles. They say we hope that cycle changes this year. That comes back to the Central, but you know, it is what it is. We also play an awesome non-conference schedule. In fact, we open with Fayetteville, who is the defending state champion. We play Bentonville West, who is yearly a playoff team, and then we play our third non-conference game against Ruston, Louisiana, and they won the state in Louisiana in the highest classification last year. So every week it's a battle, and I think our kids wouldn't want it any other way. We've been close. I know we got beat on a field goal with 2 seconds left 2 years ago at Ruston. We go down there this year, and they went to the finals that year in Louisiana. We actually beat Fayetteville here 2 years ago. We lost to them at their place last year. So that's part of playing football at Cabot. You know, our kids understand that. In fact, they embrace that. So we're excited about being in that league and the teams we play.
Tell me about your offense, what you guys do as far as your scheme, and then maybe some guys that you're going to lean on to be leaders and contributors, and maybe some guys that you are expecting to have a breakout year, a good year,
Sure.
who had a good off season or something like that.
Yeah, I would, some people would describe their offense as spread or this or that. Ours is multiple. That's what I would call it. If we are better at running it, we're going to run it, and if we're better at throwing it, we're going to do that. I know we went to the semifinals a few years ago and we threw it almost every down. And then 2 years ago we were in the semifinals at Bentonville, and we were a lot more balanced, probably even a little run heavy. So it changes from year to year based on our personnel. I think we're good up front. Our offensive line's good. Bryson Weathers returns. We have 3 really returning starters there. He and Caleb Roberts, both of those guys are going to get recruited. They're both 6'5" plus, athletic, big, strong guys that do a great job. Cooper Hurd returns. We have a number of those guys up front that have played a lot of football for us. Really excited about them as a unit. We went to team camp a couple times already, and our pass protection was good. It's kind of hard to do as much run game when you really are kind of doing a shells workout and you don't want to get on the ground, but I think we're going to be pretty balanced there. We return a 1,000-yard rusher in Keegan Vest. He's a physical, good football player. He takes care of the ball. And we also have Cooper Powell, who played a lot as a sophomore. We feel really good about him. They're both physical. They both do a good job catching the ball out of the backfield. They do a good job in pass protection. The one thing that's important to me about those guys is they're complete players. They aren't just hand me the ball guys. They can catch it, they can block, and they're unselfish, which that gets contagious if you have kids like that. Maddox McCrory played a lot as a sophomore. He was injured for a little bit at quarterback. When he played, he was very good, especially for a sophomore. He has a live arm. He can make all the throws. And we return a group of receivers that we're excited about. Our 2 outside receivers played a lot last year, Jordan Van Gordon and Aiden Tatum. And then inside we've got Mathis, we've got Gabe Lynch, and Dominic De La Torre. They all played a lot. And then we kind of got a new surprise in Amari Kreiner, who was one of our running backs last year. He kind of rotated at running back, but we're going to use him in a lot of spots this year. We're going to move him to receiver some. We'll play him at running back some. He actually placed in the 100-meter dash state track meet. He's explosive and kind of gives us another dimension. And, offensively, we feel pretty good. We return our tight end. Offensively, we return a lot of guys, so we feel pretty good about that group.
So defensively, kind of same thing, just your scheme and your players you're going to lean on,
Okay.
and maybe some guys they'll help you out that didn't last year, maybe.
Yeah, we're an even front team. Sometimes we're 4-2-5. We'll play 3 safeties. A lot of what some people would call a nickel package, and then against more run-heavy teams, we're more of a 4-3 front. So I think everyone you play now, they're not just one front defensively. They do different things. Everyone seems to be more multiple. Our 2 safeties in Brett J., David Liddell. Liddell started almost every game as a sophomore. Brett J. was a starter early in the year and had an injury. Both of them have had good springs. Wyatt Fort also will be at safety. He does a good job. We played him a lot last year as well, so we feel good about that group. A lot of competition at corner. We moved Braden McCroft, who is a quarterback. He's going to play a lot of corner for us. And then there's a lot of Castle Bing, Gavin McDonald. A number of kids will get a look at corner this year, and we're going to replace 2 good ones from last year.
So tell me about what you guys do as far as preparing to win every game. We kind of talked about this in the first question.
Yeah.
What you tell your team on a daily basis. Because you mentioned that there's a lot of history at this program.
Yeah.
So tell me what you tell your players. To give them that mentality and that energy to win a state title.
I think past success helps, that we have a program that's rich in tradition as far as that goes. We have won. I've been here 5 years. Our kids have won every year. We've been in the playoffs. We've been anywhere from 4th to 2nd in our conference. We have not won it yet. And our kids know that. That's not something we're happy about. So the one thing about our group is as a staff, when we look at it, we look at our kids on paper and all that, they come to work every day. And I think throughout our building here, there's a belief that it's going to happen, that we're going to get it done. And we've been close, I think. But, the last few years, there was North Little Rock for a little bit, and then Bryant has been dominant for a while in our conference. Last year, Fayetteville. You see the same ones at the top, and we're kind of right now trying to get in that mix. And I think if you talk to our kids, they would say, we know we're close, but until we do it, it is what it is. But I tell our kids every year in 7A that, when you start the year, there's probably about half the teams legitimately have a shot to win the state title, honestly. And the past few years, it's been the same ones kind of coming up. Bryant a lot. North Little Rock a little bit before then. In the West, you had Fayetteville and Bentonville have been pretty much dominant. Cabot's had a couple too. And we're at that point where why not us? Our kids work extremely hard. It's important for us to get there. So I'm glad I'm at a place where that's an expectation, honestly. I'm glad I'm in a place that, thinks we should get that done.
So last question for you. What would your team have to accomplish this season, or what would you guys have to do for you and your team and your staff to be able to walk away and consider it a success?
There are a lot of different ways you evaluate that. Number one, I hope our kids excel in the classroom. That's the most important thing, and they've done that in the past. We have 2 kids from last year, they're going to military academies. They're going one to Navy and one to Army. We have one that's at MIT. We have a lot of them that are going on to college. Some of them to play football or even other sports. But we're going to excel in the classroom. And then I just hope when the season's over that our kids feel like we did all we could to get it done. You can have a great year and, have one play change the season for you. We understand that. We hope we're in that conversation. And the one thing I know is I don't have any doubt our kids are going to show up. No doubt. They will be well prepared. They will prepare. They'll be conditioned. And it will be important on Fridays. It's pretty awesome to get to play at Panther Stadium on Friday night here. That's a big deal for us and for our kids. And sure, we expect to win, but to put a number on it or to win a state title, I hope so. We're every year that's the goal. We're gonna strive to get that done. And when it's all over, I hope our kids feel like we've had a great year.
All right, this has been an interview with Coach Scott Reed here at Cabot. Coach, is there anything that you want to say about your team or program before we sign off here?
No, it's all for us. Always, it's go Panthers. Period. Go Panthers.
All right, I'm Carson Ward with Arkansas Sports Network. You can find Arkansas Sports Network on Facebook and YouTube.
Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.